Well, my special guest now is head Maroon coach Brody Kelly. Coach, congratulations on another great year and getting your squad to the state tournament.
Yeah, thanks. We knew it was going to be a test. I remember doing this a few weeks ago, and it was. Played three really good teams, and thankfully played pretty good basketball to get through it.
Well, yeah, I think it was remarkable when Friday night was such a tough game against Browning Indians, who were always such a formidable team to play against, and they're a tough team to beat. You guys came out and got the W. It was a hard-fought game, but the next morning it was really amazing to see 18 out of 20 years at the state tournament. So that's really a remarkable accomplishment.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks. I mean, and it's it's a testament to all these guys for all these years, and I think I said it before. I mean, every year you got to earn it. I mean, you're not getting any sort of head start. It is what it is. Every time it's a battle, and getting through divisionals with the level of competition we have every single year is just a dogfight. And a lot of credit to these kids to be able to do that again.
What is the formula? I mean, you have a culture for sure, but what's the formula to that culture?
I don't think there's any one thing, because there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. I think the culture is a lot of it. I think it's the work these kids put in for, year round. I mean, that has a lot to do with it. This is a real skilled group, and they're skilled because they put in the time. And then I think just the mentality of our team throughout the season. I think we were pretty steady. And this wasn't a team that really had a lot of potential this year. And I think that helps be sustainable at tournament time when you got some consistency built in.
Right. Well, I think you made a great observation. It's really amazing to me as being in this building every day as the football coach, and you walk into the gym and 7 a.m. and there's a group of your guys in shooting and lifting weights, and Sunday afternoons you see dads up here rebounding for their kids, and there is a work ethic and mentality that I think is really paramount to being a program that's in the state tournament 18 out of 20 years.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I think, and then success breeds success. Guys see what it takes to get there, and they want to do it, and it's a lot of investment and commitment from them. And like you said, parents, a lot of dads up here working with their kids and getting them in weight rooms, getting them in camps. There's just so much that it takes to do this, and we're thankful that there's continued commitment from everybody.
Well, let's take a look at the state tournament. I know goal number one every year, you always talk about get to the state tournament, and then I think you sort of reset goals at state tournament time. Yeah. And your approach is always one game at a time. So the last 2 weeks, which is a unique thing, is it's been 2 weeks since divisionals. Yeah. And so you've had really 2 weeks to get ready, but I think the focus has probably been on Glendive.
Yeah, especially this week it has. The last 2 years of having these two consecutive back-to-back weeks. We've played, in the last month, we probably had 22 days worth of practice and three days worth of games. So that's a lot, and it's a lot of practice time, and it's trying to do that the right way to keep the right level of purpose and commitment or competition in practice is the key to it. And I think this group has done a really nice job of that over the 2 weeks of practice, both times, just continuing to get better. And really, I think this year what was different is a little bit more focused on ourselves.
Right.
Focus on skill work and focus on competition more than like game planning.
Right. Let's talk about Glendive. They're in the state tournament for, I believe, their 3rd straight year. We saw them 2 years ago down in Missoula, and they had a great Eastern 8 tournament and ended up finishing 3rd. But it seems to be that they're playing their best basketball of the year.
It is, yeah. Coach Murphy, for years, they were just getting real close and really emphasizing getting to the state tournament, and they broke through 2 years ago, and now here we are 3 years in a row that they made it. And their record throughout the year, I think we throw that out. They maybe stumbled out of the blocks a little bit, but a lot of teams do. In December you're trying to figure out who you are. Showed steady improvement throughout the year, and also towards the end kind of found a style and some rotations that really work for them, and they're going to be tough.
And they're a big squad too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be awkward matchups for each other. Right? There's everybody is bigger than us, but these guys are especially big. Not only are they, have some height advantage, they're pretty stout kids too. They got some real physicality advantages over us.
Right. Well, I know you don't look beyond game one, but let's just talk about the tournament field. Yeah. On our side, the other matchup will be Lewistown and Columbia Falls. I thought Columbia Falls looked really strong and well coached, good basketball team. Yeah. We played Lewistown earlier in the year, but it sounds like they've got some kids healthier than the beginning of the year, and so that's a tough partner on our side of the bracket. And then you look across the way on the other side of the bracket, you've got Dillon and Billings Central, and then Hamilton at Havre. And so 8 good teams again.
Yeah, I mean everybody in this tournament's good, right? You don't get here unless you're good, and unless you're you're playing well at this time of year. And, you know, I think I said before this year in Class A, there's a lot of parity. There's a lot of teams that can win this thing, I think. You know, how every team has prepared themselves over the last 2 weeks, I think is going to have an impact on this first game here. But, you know, everyone's playing well. And on our side with Lewistown and Columbia Falls, they're both similar to Glendive in that they stumbled out of the blocks a little bit, you know, dealing with injuries. I think Columbia Falls was. And sometimes people get caught up in records. Records just, I mean,
Throw them out this time of year, right?
yeah, they may have no impact on anything. It just matters who's playing good basketball right now, and I think all 8 teams are.
Well, it's got to be exciting. I mean, I know no matter where the tournament, you know, the last, you think about the last 3 state tournaments at Great Falls, and that was the COVID year, but we still had a huge following. And then in Missoula 2 years ago for the state championship, we have a great following. Last year in Bozeman, but this state tournament's in our backyard in the Butte Civic Center, and that's got to be exciting for the program.
It is, and I was kind of blown away by the support we had at divisionals. Like I knew we'd have good fan support, but there was a lot of people there on both Friday and Saturday. Good crowds. You know, some people maybe you don't see like during the regular season, but when it comes to tournament time, they show up. And I just know from, you know, just hearing people talk around town and families and texts and all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of people that are excited about this weekend. I know this 9 a.m. Thursday makes it difficult for people to get there. I do understand that, but from what I gather, there's still quite a few people. They're going to find a way to make it Thursday and hopefully beyond.
Well, I know somebody that made the decision to not have school at the elementary, the junior high, and the high school. So that might be my best decision of the year. But we're going to have that student section rocking and ready to support the guys on Thursday morning.
Yeah, that's great. And you know, I think this time of year is so great for a school. You could just see, you know, kind of the togetherness, the community, that this, you know, the support that it generates, the excitement for the school, and everybody should be excited. They should all be part of this, and I, you know, I'm thrilled. I'm sure they're thrilled that their classmates got them out of school for the day too.
That's right. Well, it is March Madness. I mean, it's a great time of year. Things, you know, crazy things happen, but I know you guys always are prepared, and you'll go out and fight hard and have a great representation of Butte Central. So congratulations, Coach, and best of luck at the state tournament.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yep, looking forward to it. Thanks.
Let's get out and cheer on the Maroons, folks. First game 9 a.m. against the Glendive Red Devils at the Butte Civic Center. Well, I'm excited to introduce the 8 players who make up our varsity rotation. Very successful group of young men who've had a great season. 2 weeks ago in Butte at the Butte Civic Center, they had a great divisional tournament. Came up a little short in the divisional championship, lost in overtime. But the main objective of getting to the state tournament has been accomplished. And I know it's been 2 weeks of hard practice, and hard to believe that we're, you know, less than 48 hours away from the opening moments of the state Class A tournament, which is in the Butte Civic Center. So, guys, congratulations on your season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your team's been a lot of fun to watch. You have great fan support, and it's just been, I think there's a great excitement for the state tournament. So let's start with our 2 seniors. I talked to you guys a couple weeks ago right before divisionals, and we talked a lot about how exciting it would be to finish your careers in the Butte Civic Center. You know, we knew it was either going to be last week at the divisional or at state, and we accomplished the goal of getting to state. But Zay, maybe just talk about that amazing opportunity to play your final basketball for the Maroons in the Butte Civic Center in front of your hometown.
It's pretty cool, especially if we, you know, get to Saturday night. We've had really good crowd support so far. Saturday was super awesome, so I think it'll just be super cool to end our high school careers in front of the Butte crowd.
Well, we've talked a lot about you guys have been great senior leaders and have led this young team. You know, really, after you look down the line, there's a couple juniors and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. So you've done a great job in your leadership roles. Maybe, Jack, talk about how it's been to play in the Butte Civic Center, how electric and exciting the Butte crowd was at divisionals.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Our student section's been rocking. I know they got a lot of good themes coming up, and obviously our parents and our friends are there, so it's just been really exciting to play there.
Yeah, well, best of luck. You lead that team to some great things at the tournament. The next guy I'd like to introduce is Owen McPartland. Our radio crew they've given him the nickname of Owen Big Shot McPartland, and that really does sum up your 2-year career on the varsity. Last year, you were a starter, but it just seemed like there were multiple times during the year when a big shot was needed, you came up with it, and I think you did that again at the divisional. But maybe talk about how, you know, what is behind all that?
You know, we're all moving the ball really well, and I'm getting pretty good looks. So.
So you attribute a lot of that to maybe these point guards to get you the ball?
Yeah.
And these guys setting screens maybe now and then?
Yeah.
Well, you've been a very good scorer, and I think you've done some great things in your career so far. The next guy is Patrick Steinmetz, who is a junior. And Patrick, you've had some great moments this year as well. You've come off the bench and hit some big shots. I thought the divisional tournament, you hit some big shots. Down at Hamilton when we pulled that major win against an undefeated team, you hit a couple big shots. So what's it take to hit big shots?
Well, you just always got to be ready when the opportunity comes. You got to be able to hit it when the opportunity is there. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, do you have more of that in store at state tournament time?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, the next guy is Ryan Peoples. Ryan's a sophomore. You've started all year long, Ryan. I think that your role is similar to Patrick's. Hit the open three. As of late, you've gotten to the rim a little bit. And I know that one of the things Coach Kelly coached you really hard at the beginning of the year is defensive, following the team rules and, that defensive pressure that he expects. But maybe talk about Coach Kelly's defensive philosophy.
Yeah, that's good. It's hard. You always got to be moving. It's hard to concentrate sometimes.
But he
locked in all game long.
But his mentality is every possession, you can't fall asleep. You've got to play 110% on every defensive possession, right? What, I think you've gotten better as the season went on that. What do you attribute that to?
With coaching, being on my case.
See coaches hard in practice every night?
Yeah, everybody else being on my case, making me better.
That's good. Well, the next three guys are our fabulous freshmen, three freshman guys that have made a real big impact in our team, played great basketball. The first is Joshua Sutton. Joshua actually played quite a bit of varsity as an 8th grader. Joshua, it's really hard to explain this, but you already have, as a freshman, you have state tournament experience. So do you think that's going to help this year, having that first state tournament experience out of the way last year?
Yeah, it definitely does. It calms the nerves down a little bit because you've already been there before. So it definitely helps a lot.
So what do you think the key this weekend? What's the key to the team this week?
We just got to play as hard as we can, 110%. And if we play our best, we could do good.
Founds great. Well, the next two guys have been sort of the spark plug guys that have come off the bench. And, I know coaches put them in when defensive presence has been needed. And that's Gigi Fontini, the first guy to my right. Gigi, you've had a really great year. I think, at the divisional tournament, I thought Friday night you had some huge plays. But maybe talk about being ready to get in the game and make an impact, even if sometimes it might not be, 15, 20 minutes in the game. But, you come in and take whatever role you get and make some things happen for the team. What do you think about that?
Yeah, whenever I go in, I just do what I can, maybe defense, offense, whatever needed for the team. Try and do my best.
Right. Well, the last guy is Parker Robertson. I know Parker, one of the things that's been amazing, you're new to Butte Central, moved here from Oklahoma, but you have Butte roots, so you're not a new Buttean or anything like that. But, when people saw you in that first night out at tip-off, they wanted to know who the guy who's not really big, but he goes out there and plays against a bunch of big guys. So sometimes your role is to guard a guy 6 to 8 inches taller. What's that like?
I mean, they're big, a lot bigger than me. Just try my best to stay in front of them and not let them score.
And I think you play with a lot of aggressiveness, which is, I think, from the first time people saw you play, that's been, sort of your deal, right?
Yeah, I try to bring a lot of energy, but sometimes it's too much. Get in foul trouble. Try to keep it under control.
Good. Well, there's the 2024 Butte Central Maroons. They open up Thursday morning, 9 o'clock, against the Dawson County Glendive Red Devils. I know they're very excited, and Coach Kelly's done a great job again. And we just really want to encourage the Maroon fans to get out and cheer these guys on to great things at the state tournament. Well, we're very excited to introduce today a special group of guys that are part of our state tournament team. This is our practice squad. The last 3 weeks, these guys have been practicing every day, helping the varsity guys get ready for state tournament. And I know that Coach Kelly believes that they're a huge part of the program, and they've all had great seasons, whether it was on JVs, freshmen, or a combination of thereof. And a lot of these guys have had varsity minutes as well. So really excited to introduce our practice squad. First, we have Xander Strand. Good wave. Danny McCarthy. Jackson Hyatt. Kelton Keene. Buzz Kelly. The next two guys actually will be suited out and be on the bench for the varsity team and ready to go in if needed. That's Coy Campbell and Justice McGee. And we're always excited to introduce and say thanks to our team manager, who does a ton of work filming and doing all those important jobs for the team, and that's Ian Bray. So good job, fellas. Great work the last 3 weeks, and look forward to an exciting tournament.